Hello. Interesting thing about my employment is that I will get paid the first month, which means I get double payment this month. Very nice. I might actually be able to afford a toaster and a microwave. Maybe even be able to upgrade my phone from my trash iPhone 7 uh, to something else that's actually functional. That'd be nice. For us first world problems, huh? Good times. But hey, comparison is the killer of all joy, or whatever that one quote was. Hmm. I'd like to spawn a bit of a discussion here because and this is controversial to bring up. I know that. That's why I would like this video to spawn a healthy and open-minded, logical, frankly, though we can talk about emotions, discussion regarding the differences between men and women. And I want to open this up by saying that I don't agree with modern radicalized feminism. It seems very unhealthy, and frankly, I don't like how much shit they're talking about anyone. Yeah, that seems concise. I prefer to make my judgments and like base my judgments and my decisions off of logical thought patterns. Like if something makes sense, it makes sense, and well, then that's probably what's going to be guiding my decision, like on the matter. So, as an example, the gender pay gap is a thing that's brought up, and without looking at any data or anything, just considering the concept. So, the idea of the gender pay gap is that women are paid less than men for the same work. And I've heard a lot of like things where people are like, oh well, they don't consider the right information and all that. So like it goes both ways. But stopping to think, we all know companies are greedy as fuck. That's the entire point of a company is to make money more effectively, right? Because like if you could make the same amount of money just selling stuff yourself, then you wouldn't need a company. So a company is there to effectively make more money, right? And so to effectively make more money, they remove things that make less money, and they get things, acquire things, and build things that make more money. So, if there is a way to, say, pay all your workers less just by having them be a specific gender for the same work, like they're doing one unit of work just like the others are doing one unit of work, but you can pay them less. That's just good business. Which, like, following that logic, this would lead to businesses specifically employing people of that gender because they cost less. Because it costs them less money, but they still get more out of it. Or the same per unit of effort, I guess. But that's not the case, from what I can see. So I'm not entirely like just this portion of logic reasoning makes me kind of doubtful that the gender pay gap does exist. If someone can convince me undoubtedly that it does exist, I would believe it. Obviously, because, well, that's proof right there. But from, and now regarding other info, another pieces of information, just it seems that when people are supporting the idea of the gender pay gap existing, that they talk about like, this is what I've heard. They talk about that women make less money than men on average, ignoring our biological differences and preferences following that. Say, more men, usually, generally, because of our biology, generally, prefer to work more physical labor jobs. They prefer to, this is all generally speaking, they prefer to be more competitive, to take, is it proprietary, the word I'm thinking about? I don't know. Like take action before it's required, take action before it's necessary. I think it's proprietary. Let me just look it up so I'm actually saying the right thing. No, it's not at all. It's preemptive. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, preemptive action. So like, which leads to a lot of men, generally speaking, getting promotions because they actually asked for it, stuff like that. Generally speaking, before others that aren't as competitive and stuff like that. This is really controversial to say, but there are these biological differences in our bodies that differ between men and women. For example, women have tits. They can produce milk. They can give birth to children, given the right circumstances. Me as a man, I can't do that. And because of like the differences, and a lot more than just those macro differences, there are these smaller differences that aren't like necessarily smaller, but they're smaller as in not as visible, with hormones and like neural wiring, the way we treat people, the way we act around people, what we generally prefer to do. All of that differs between men and women, which leads to us doing things that we, generally speaking, biologically prefer doing more than other things. Women, generally speaking, prefer to work with people, like um, like works or like jobs that incorporate human interaction, like say teachers or doctors or psychiatrists or stuff like that. And you can very clearly see in the job market, the is that what you call it? The employment field market thing, that a lot of women are employed within those fields. And yet we're not working to like equalize that. We're not like, I don't see ads everywhere saying, or like billboards saying that we should push more men to become teachers or like child carers. Like on like I'm thinking about like kindergartens. But we do see a lot of media talking about bringing women to business work and like more competitive fields that men are like more likely, generally speaking, to enter and be a part of, given our, generally speaking, biology. That's going to be the most used word in this video, generally, because well, this all applies generally. There are always outliers, and unless I make that very, very clear, people are going to get triggered. At least that's what I fear. Like I said before, though, my point here is to open up the discussion so we can talk about it. Maybe, like bring out the hard facts, like the truly, like this piece of information right here is entirely 100% factual. There is like no reason to doubt it. It's logical, and then we could just start comparing a bunch of those pieces of information and actually come to a right answer. I would prefer that. I would like that. And then we can all grow from the experience. Because I'm assuming that we're all incorrect in some way, including me, obviously. So, yeah, that's the idea. I hope I talked about this right. And yeah, we can obviously talk about emotions. That's important. Emotions are core to being human, and so they shouldn't be ignored. But they should be considered logically. Like, you can consider everyone's happiness logically and compare them like that. But like, compare the levels of happiness. Happiness is generally considered an emotion, and so you can, I think you see what I'm saying. So we can talk about how we feel about stuff, but like, keep it level-headed. I don't think ever in the history of the world ever has someone said keep it level-headed, actually helped keeping a moment level-headed. But keep it in mind, maybe. Like, we're not enemies. We're in this together. We all live in this shitty-ass world. Let's try to make it the best for everyone, right? It'd be dumb to have enemies. That's the idea. So, ending that, take care of yourself, and tell me if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, tell me why. preferably in like very specifically. And that we can have a healthy, level-headed, open-minded, and kind discussion regarding this matter. I hope. This might have been a bad choice. But I feel like it's good to unscrew the cap early. Is my thought process behind this. So, yeah. I've told you why I wanted to talk, or I've told you about this now, and do with it what you will. Yeah. Now I need to go pack and everything because I'm gonna celebrate my little brother's birthday. So, take care.